and welcome back to this channel where we talk about how to design better tech using user-centered design. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna show you a very simplified process of designing a fitness application. So what a lot of user designers, especially at the beginning of their career, would do is when they start working on the project, they go straight away to Figma and start working on the screens of this application. That could be a good fun because you can play around with colors, buttons, branding, naming, fonts, and stuff like that. But it's not something I really recommend doing. I will show you my simple 6 steps to follow to kind of like prepare yourself before you start doing the designs of the actual screens in Figma. And so that hopefully will be useful for you to create some kind of more meaningful application. However, I just want to caveat that this video is literally a simplification of the user-centered design process because we're not including any users, of course, in this video. So I strongly recommend, so the process I'm showing you is literally the middle bit, okay? But before you do designs, I strongly recommend doing user research. We're gonna cover it in different videos than this. And as you have your designs somewhat done, they don't have to be finished. I also strongly recommend doing usability testing, which we also going to be covering with different videos because it's a really massive subject and there's a lot of to cover. But today I'm just gonna show you a little bit of this middle process where I already would have some kind of understanding of users and I want to play around with designs, but I don't want to jump straight away to Figma because, like I said before, it's not the best approach and I would not recommend doing that. Okay, let's have a look at those 6 simple steps and I'll see you in a moment. Okay guys, so now we can have a look at quickly at my 6 steps for designing the fitness app. Okay, so let's say that you already had some user research, so you interviewed some people who are potentially your target group and you know a little bit more about what are you designing and who you're designing for. Remember, this is a very important step and I strongly recommend not skipping it. But of course, if a business that you work for doesn't have budget or time for it, then of course you don't have any other option than following just those steps without having any user research done. Okay, I usually start with something very simple, which is a bit of a problem statement, but I don't like using this name because it's confusing for everyone. So what I say instead, and I ask that question very often to quite senior people in companies, and trust me, it's not very easy question to answer in a very short way. People tend to go a very long in terms of describing who are they serving and what the problem they're solving. I strongly recommend trying to be very concise of what problem am I solving and who am I solving it for. So I would say my product will help specific people to do X. And this is kind of like the shortest and the easiest way of explaining it. I know a lot of designers like to go into very complex sentences and a lot of analysis and stuff like that. This is not to confuse you. This is to give you the shortest and the easiest solutions that I also use on daily basis. So if we were designing a fitness app and we wanted to describe other fitness apps such as Nike Run, we could say that the Nike Run helps runners enjoy it with friends and whilst listening to great music. Okay, so this is very concise. You know who we helping exactly. Those are not just random people, they're specifically runners, and we help them to enjoy doing so with their friends whilst listening to great music. So in a very short sentence, it's very clear what the actually app does and who is it for. Now in our little example that we're gonna look at today, we're going to create an app for moms, for new moms, to help them become active again, basically. So after they have a baby, We're helping them to get back into fitness, movement, and so on and so on. That's why here, obviously, I said the app helps new moms to get active again. So very, very simple, but as you can see, it's very powerful because it really forces you to think who specifically you're helping and to do exactly what. Okay, so try do the same thing for the application that you're working on. Trust me, it really will clarify in your head what actually needs to be done and what actually priorities should be done first. Now, I like to revisit this statement as I work on the app because what very often happens in the project, a lot of people might influence your designs and things might change with time and people lose the focus. I like to redirect everyone at this initial statement so that everybody gets aligned again. Okay, so that was step one. Step two. I get lots of good examples. Okay, so here I've sort of collected, as you can see, some different applications, different fitness apps. So we have FitPlan, we have Nike Run, and we have Fitbot. So where do I get those screens? Of course, you can try downloading those and sort of take a screen grabs and stuff like that. But obviously this is to help you do things quicker. So I'll show you quickly where I'm getting those from. So I very often use this cool service called Mobin. It's a paid service, but in my view, it's totally worth the money because I think you pay maybe $50 a year. And then you have access to literally screenshot from so many different applications and they literally update them on monthly basis. And also you can chat to these guys, and if you are interested in seeing some new applications to be added, you can always recommend them what kind of other apps you would like to see there. Now that finally page is loaded, you can see there's a lot of options here. I'm not gonna go through all of them. For the purposes of today's video, we can have a look at app categories. As you can see, you have plenty of options. Unfortunately, there was no search results for that, but so I work a lot in finance, so I find it extremely useful because I very quickly, without registration, can have a look and have some inspiration how good apps do this stuff. But today we're of course going to be looking at health and fitness, so I'm gonna select this and hopefully this would load. And you can see there's plenty of different applications for you to kind of get inspiration. You can click through to the actual app. So for example, one of the apps that I looked into was FitPlan. So you can obviously click through and then you can see the whole of the journey. You can also see different flows, which is great because you will be able to have a look here at subscription premium, search, workout details, feeds, training, nutrition, and so on and so on. Onboarding is one of the biggest things for any application, so I like looking at how people actually address, especially in fitness app, but they're sometimes quite complicated, so it's a great way of getting inspiration. Now going back to our mirror board, like I said, I like picking up a couple of apps that are doing well, seeing how they structure everything, what are different ways they're presenting stuff, registration, onboarding, what kind of colors they use and stuff like that. So I kind of look at this. I very often then would also download the app and play around with this to actually see how it works and stuff like that. But this is basically to give you an idea already how different screens might function, especially if this is not the subject, fitness is not something that you're familiar with. I strongly recommend doing this. Okay, third step is I like doing main flows, kind of action flows. So as you can see at the top here, we have a couple of main flows. So onboarding, registration, add your details, goals, weight, then add friends, edit profile, forgotten password. Those are very standard. I mean, maybe apart from this one, which is kind of more specific for this fitness application, but things like onboarding, registration, editing profile, or forgotten password will be always needed for any flow. Okay, so for any application, so you can create very easily before going into designs, and this is gonna make your life much easier. Trust me. Also, it will validate the logic of your flows without actually doing the design. So, for example, here I wanted to create a flow of a first workout after somebody obviously onboarded and registered. So they created a profile and now they want to use the first workout. So bits in black are essentially screens of the app, and then things in blue are the actions that the user would be taking in the actual application. This is super useful. Honestly, I've done it for a lot of clients who had very complex flows and they couldn't see how to simplify them. And only after doing this could we see where exactly we had some issues, or like too long process or too complicated. So this is super useful, so you don't design and build something that doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's begin. So first workout, if I'm a user and I come to the app, I look first of all, okay, there's a dashboard, and I obviously should be able to select some kind of workout. So I click, the user clicks on the workout they like, and they are presented with the page with workout details. So they technically should, if they like it, they would click on start workout. Maybe there will be some kind of screen of selecting some kind of personalization, such as duration, intensity, body parts, maybe music. This is like an optional thing. Obviously, we don't have to do that. But I thought maybe this, I've seen it in a couple of fitness apps. We can also maybe save the preferences once we select it and actually start the workout. Then we have some kind of workout screen, so maybe some kind of videos and options and time and things like that. Of course, we should be able to finish the workout naturally, or so say we finish the workout. Also, we should be able to pause the workout. Now see here straight away, I can see that this doesn't belong here because you're not going to be clicking from finish workout, but rather you're going to be clicking to pause workout from the workout screen, right? So straight away, it's like if you play around with this, it straight away shows you when maybe some kind of more logic needs to be applied. So workout screen, also here we have obviously the button that is a finish workout or a pause workout, but we also can have something that, natural, so kind of finished workout, let's say naturally, because they just basically went through all of the stages, all of the videos, and the kind of the whole thing came to the end naturally. So rather than they kind of said, okay, I want to finish this workout, I'll say I don't like it or whatever, for whatever reason. But see, I'm just connecting it, but you can understand now how easy it is to kind of think about different options that you will have on that screen whilst doing this flow, because then you don't have to waste your time thinking what kind of things you would have on this screen. You already kind of cover it in this flow, and it definitely will help you design just much better flows and so on. Okay, so of course, then after finish workout, we have some kind of success screen, and then maybe we have some notification offer screens saying, hey, do you want us to remind you about doing a workout, and say every day. So this is very straightforward, I hope. I strongly recommend doing it for probably a majority of those flows. I mean, I've done onboarding and registration many times, but remember, registration and onboarding are one of the most crucial flows, so you don't want to mess it up. I spent hours and hours with some of my clients helping them improve the onboarding registration because it was impossible to get through. And the reason for that was that they just straight away jumped into designs, and then the registration process became endless pain for the users. Okay, that was step 3. Let's go to step 4, which is something that I love doing, is wireframing. Okay, majority of people don't understand what wireframing is and why is it needed. So hopefully I can explain it to you in a very easy way. Wireframing helps you without getting too much pressured about design, branding, and so on. It's kind of helping you build initial ideas about what are the kind of what are kind of like layouts you might have on the screen, what kind of buttons and functionality. So it's kind of like you designing a blueprint of the house before you actually build the house. So you want to know where where windows are going to be and doors are going to be and potential pipes. You want to draw it before you actually build it. So this is pretty much the same, and it's so useful to do it. I know a lot of user experience designers don't do this. They go straight into designs, and I think they get blinded by the idea of making something look nice rather than focusing on actual usability, if it's easy to use or not, because they go straight into designs. So I really strongly recommend doing wireframes. As you can see, if you use Miro, they actually have the whole wireframing library, including screens of the phone, including all of the main elements like headings, text, buttons, text fields, and so on. So you don't actually have to come up with anything new. The only thing you're gonna do is just moving things around, thinking about, okay, what kind of headers we're gonna have, how user is gonna click from here to here, and this is super useful. So here, again, I'm going back to this flow. I look at this flow and think, okay, what the screen's gonna look like, what kind of different functionality, buttons and things like that we're gonna have. And based on that, I'm just gonna drop things. And this is not to design things. This is just to cover what elements we have to have and maybe what kind of simple layout can work for this. Okay, so this is gonna massively make your life easier when you go finally into actual design phase in Figma. Trust me with that. Fifth step is something really fun, so name and branding. Of course, you know that you can go to Pinterest, Dribbble, and so on and find a lot of cool designs, and you can kind of borrow ideas from that and branding and so on. So I'm not gonna go and show you how to search things on Pinterest, because I'm sure you're capable of typing in mobile fitness app UI and you will have lots of different ideas. Now, my big advice for you is don't use the actual designs that are proposed in Pinterest or Dribbble. A majority of those ideas are not very usable. And this is not to offend anyone who does an amazing job doing the UI, because they become very creative and very beautiful, but not necessarily very usable and user-friendly. I've seen lots of applications that are designed in a Dribbble or Pinterest, and unfortunately they don't seem to be very easy to use, or they don't even cover accessibility. So a lot of colors are in a low contrast and things like that. So I would strongly recommend, if you want to get inspiration from anywhere, I would go always with the existing applications that already are doing really well. And you will very quickly see that actual built applications are much less fancy, much simpler than the ones that you can find on Dribbble or Pinterest. So what I do, I look for Pinterest and Dribbble for colors and branding, like ideas and inspiration, but then I usually base my designs, final designs, on existing applications. Okay, so that's my opinion about the inspiration on Pinterest and Dribbble. Now, when it comes to naming, people go absolutely mental and spend weeks and months coming up with different names. Here, I've included, remember, our application is for moms to go back to activity and fitness. So here are some ideas that I found. I strongly recommend using this platform called Namelix. It's absolutely fantastic. So let's say we type in moms here, and moms, and let's say fitness, and click generate, and then here it's really cool because you can actually specify whether you want to have some kind of cool alternative spelling, or like compounding of the words, or just having two words like Bitcoin and Facebook, you know, different options. Here I usually select auto, which includes all of those styles. I click next. Here we also have can select generation randomness. So obviously, if you select low, you have the most direct name ideas. Then if you select medium, you have more creative results. And then high obviously will be super creative. I also go for medium here, and we can click here next. Here we have moms and fitness, and we can click generate. Now the beautiful thing about this platform, which I love, is that they not only would they give you the name ideas, but also you can have really quick inspiration for the logos actually. So as you can see, there's so many different options that you can go with. I absolutely love it and strongly recommend it. But again, please don't spend super long time thinking about branding and naming. Users don't care about it as much as the fact whether the application solving their problems, okay? And you always can rebrand later on, so don't worry about this. Okay, so once we had, so let's maybe recap on all of the steps that we've done so far. So first of all, we're looking at what problem we are going to solve and for whom. Then we have a look at some good examples of existing application. We look at the main action flows to help us design later on in Figma. We also create some kind of high-level wireframes, also to have a better ideas of what we can create in the actual final designs. And lastly, of course, we have a look at the naming and branding to have some inspiration. Obviously, the last sixth step is looking at the application itself. As you can see here in my Figma file, which by the way you can download and have a play with in the link under this video. So here, as I said to you, I get inspired. Let's say I got inspired by this simple fitness application. I really like the colors, so I'm going to paste my colors examples here, and I'm going to match those colors. I can change them slightly, adjust them how I like them, so you can actually take my file and adjust those colors based on what styling you like. As you can see, we have simple headers and text here. We have the basic colors. We also have some basic buttons and progress tracker, and maybe some kind of form field. This is like bare minimum that you need to create any application really. So you can go ahead and use this. These are not very complex. I mean, normally when I work in big projects, I create a big UI libraries, but in this case, if you want to create something very quickly, you can start just with this basic components. Okay, so once I've applied colors, added colors to my color scheme that I would like to use, I then go back to my my Miro, and what I do is I like copying. For example, if I start working on the actual designs, I literally would copy the flow, paste it somewhere in the in the Figma file, so I have it there to have kind of remind me of what process we're looking at. I also will copy the Figma, sorry, not Figma, but wireframes. I'll just paste them in here as well quickly, so they kind of remind me of what I need to do. And very easily, of course, this is some additional screens that I created. Here, of course, you see the final designs of what I've done. So you can see kind of nice looking screens, very simple and so on. But let's quickly have a look what we have. So we have some kind of onboarding. So of course, using Figma plugins and Splash and so on, we can very easily create this kind of nice and cute onboarding. Again, when you write the copy here, reference back to your research that you've done before, the designs. This is very important to include that information here. So this is like really quick onboarding. So we have registration and login, very simple, super simple. And also here some kind of premium option to go in terms of your plan. Also, we want to have some kind of idea about dashboard and account. These are like included in these designs if you like them. But obviously the actual flow that we were looking into was this workout flow where a user comes, and you can see that here in our wireframes that we've created. So I essentially took the wireframes and I was playing around with different elements, trying to do pretty much the same thing. But remember, those wireframes are like just an idea. You don't have to stick to exactly everything that you have designed here. So for example, when I was doing wireframes, you can see here we say, hi Natalie, maybe some discussions and so on. But in the end, I actually didn't include that here. Instead, I included workout search and actually simplified it to have feature workouts and some, say, new recipes. So literally looking at the wireframes step by step. When user clicks on the workout, they see the actual workout details. They can see who is running it, they can download it offline, like it, some kind of title, different exercises that are including in this workout. They can click start workout as per our flow, and then obviously the actual video being run, first video out of 6 exercises that they have here. You see some kind of progress here of that first video, and then you can go full screen and things like that. You can also close this and kind of finish the video, finish the workout, and then obviously we have a sort of workout finish screen with congratulations and things like that. Again, just remember this is the very simplified version. This is something that I would do really quickly before I would do sessions with users. I wouldn't go too crazy and spend weeks designing it. I very often even the test with wireframes just to see if it resonates with users, and then go into kind of detailed designs. But you also can test your detailed designs, so create prototype based on this, make it more interactive, and so you can spend time with your users. Okay, so I hope this was useful for you guys. Like I said, the link to this app, a very simple app design, is going to be underneath this video, so you can click and download it and use it as much as you like. Have fun with this, and remember that UI is very important, but it's just like a top of the iceberg. The main thing you need to remember is to make sure you do user research at the start of the project, and as you go through the actual designs, you validate them with your users constantly. So that will be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please comment below, please like it. Also follow us on YouTube, because we're going to be creating more videos about how to do user-centered design. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!